Hi. If you're a JW or a former JW, um, you may have come across this phenomenon. How do I say this? Yeah, I don't know if you've come across this phenomenon, but I have a few times. It's something where some Jehovah's Witnesses have expressed um, the idea that, like, if I was not a Jehovah's Witness, because there's certain things they're not allowed to do, right? They're not allowed to be celebrities. They're not allowed to carry a gun, say in the police or the military. They're not allowed to, like I've said in a previous video about Watchtower and risk assessment, you know, they can ride a motorcycle, but they can't jump out of an airplane. They can do this, but they can't do that. Anyway, um, yeah, all these crazy rules. But I've come across Jehovah's Witnesses who are like, well, if I was not a Jehovah's Witness, I'd be, you know, XYZ, right? People say, like, if I was, and some of these stories are like, some of these things are like outlandish, uh, almost fantasy thing. Like, I knew one guy actually, a close friend of mine for quite some time, um, in my younger years, my high school years. We were not in the same high school, but in my high school years, yeah, I was a friend. He was in my congregation. We were close friends. And this guy would say, if I was not a Jehovah's Witness, I would be like a spy, like James Bond. We used to go to all the James Bond movies, and he'd be like, "Yeah, if I wasn't a JW, I'd be a secret agent or something." Another one was, I don't know. They'll have these stories like, if I was not a Jehovah's Witness, I'd be, you know, indie, indie car driver, or a Navy SEAL or something like that. But of course, I chose to serve Jehovah, so I chose to forego, a worldly career, but none of them seem to say, like, if I was not a Jehovah's Witness, um, you know, I'd be a shoemaker or a ditch digger or something. Or, it's always like a secret agent, or, you know, a movie star or a singer or something like this. One guy told me that in high school he played basketball, and everybody was telling him, "Wow, you're really good at." Everybody at school, told him, "Wow, you're good at this. You should pursue it." And he says, "No, but I chose to serve Jehovah. Otherwise I could have been like in the NBA." But this guy was like, I'm not that tall. I'm like 5'9", and he was a couple inches taller than me, maybe 6 feet max, right? Now, no matter how good this guy may have been, claims to have been, you know, and I found that a lot of Jehovah's Witnesses exaggerate their accomplishments. I think some of them outright lie. I mean, you know. But anyway, that's another story. But this guy was like only like 6 feet tall. How many 6 foot tall players are in the NBA? You know, compared to the other players, he'd be like a midget. 6 foot tall, that's not tall enough to be in the NBA. You know, but here he's claiming, well, if I was not a Jehovah's Witness, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, and the other thing I want to address is that Jehovah's Witnesses are always looking forward to living in paradise, paradise earth. There's going to be no more concrete and steel, no more buildings, skyscrapers. That's all going to be flattened at Armageddon, the War of Armageddon, right? Where Jehovah and Jesus zaps all the unbelievers and flattens everything. And the earth will be transformed into a paradise, a park, like a garden. But I found that a lot of, you know, like they'll be living and spending most of their time outside and stuff. They show in pictures of, you know, paradise, Jehovah's Witnesses rolling around the grass with baby pandas and baby lions and stuff. But I found that a lot of Jehovah's Witnesses are not outdoor people at all. They don't like getting dirty. They don't like, you know, getting dirt under their fingernails. They don't like. They don't go hiking. They don't go fishing, camping, hunting. They don't like nature. Like, they don't like the outdoors. They don't like the outdoors very much. Or animals. I mean, they might have pets, you know, like a dog, a cat, whatever, but for them to be rolling around the grass with you know, baby lions or something is highly unlikely, because they're very, you know, I don't know if you remember that old show from the 70s, The Odd Couple. It was two guys who lived together, two divorced men who lived together. One was very sloppy and dirty. He was a slob. His name was Oscar. And the other guy was Felix. And Felix was very, very neat and tidy and obsessively clean. That's more what Jehovah's Witnesses are like. They're not the type of people to get out in the woods among the mosquitoes and the, you know, the dirt and the, you know, animals and stuff. They like nice and antiseptic. They like nice and antiseptic. Their kingdom halls are very clean and you know, square and you know, again, whatever, steel and concrete and painted up nice and neat. And they don't like messy. They don't like dirty. They don't like everything that the outdoors is. Most of them that I've, you know, been in contact with in the past, they don't like, you know, they're not fishermen, they're not hikers or campers or hunters. You know, they don't go zip lining, they don't go rock climbing. Yeah, it's kind of bizarre, isn't it? A lot of people in this world, not just JWs, but a lot of people in this world have a distorted view of themselves, right? They kind of have in their heads a different image of who they are than who they really are. People can't see themselves for who they are. They've got this imaginary, like the secret agent thing. You know, well, if I wasn't a Jehovah's Witness, I'd be James Bond. I'd be 007 going on adventures around the world and, you know, driving my rocket car and you know, my, you know, having my laser watch and all this shit. It's like, dude, what you know, what dream world do you live in? You know? It's bizarre. Anyway, it's a little bit of a chuckle for you guys to have. I certainly laugh at it. I mean, it's hilarious to me. Have a good one.